Morning, guys. It is Miss Marin. It is Wednesday, April 1. It is April Fool's Day, so if you get a chance to play a nice prank on somebody, go ahead and do that. But don't tell your parents that I told you you could. Now, yesterday, it was Tuesday, March 31st, and this is when you should have done this assignment. But if you didn't do it yesterday because you were confused or you need more help, now's the time to do it. All right. Here we have in front of us a decimal place value chart. And if you go back to your assignment over here, we're going to be doing 1A, B, C, and G together. Okay? 1A looks like this. Now, just like we learned on Monday, you name a decimal place value by its last number. Now, the last number here is a 6. It is the only number, and it's the last number. And it's in the tenths place value. We call this 6 tenths then. So go ahead and write 6 tenths. Or draw an arrow from 0.6 to 6 tenths. Now, 1B, let me just double check, is, I went all the way to 1C. Let me quickly change that. We're actually on 3.8 for 1B. .8, and this was 0.6. Now, again, we still name it by its last place value. Its last place value is the 8 here, and the 8 is in the tenths place. When we have a whole number included with our decimal, we call that a mixed decimal, and we have to say the whole number first, followed by point or and. We're going to use and here, and then the decimal. So 3 and 8. It's in the tenths place value. Tenths, so 3 and 8 tenths is how we would say 1B. Next one is 0.37. And just like if we had this kind of number right here in the whole number section of our chart, we wouldn't call this 1/6. We would actually call it 16. When we look at this number, we don't say 37, we say 37. And because there's no whole number in front of it, we just call it 37, and the 7 is in the hundredths place, it's our last place value, 37 hundredths. The last one we'll do together is 1G. It looks like this. Again, there is no whole number, so we're going to name it not with point or and. And when we look at this, there's no numbers to combine. We only have one number above 0, and that's 1. Okay? So we're going to name this as 1, and then the place value that last digit is in the thousandths place. So 1/1000th. And that's all we're going to do together from number 1. I'm going to quickly erase this. You guys can finish up number 1 or move down to the next section. Okay. We're on 2A, B, and C. Now, these are the ones that we're going to be turning from a fraction into a decimal. And just to help us remember, on our chart over here, I gave us exactly what a tenth looks like, exactly what a hundredth looks like, and exactly what a thousandth looks like. So, what's important to remember is if it's a tenth, just like a 10, it's going to have one place value. Just like a 10 has 1 0, your tenth is going to have only one place value. So if you would look at this right here, and you would plug in the 6, it would fit right into here. All right? If it said something like this instead, let's see, 18, well, it has 2 numbers, so it's going to need 2 zeros under it. So it's going to look like this. But the way you would look at that is, 2 zeros, 2 place values, 18 would fit here. But that's not part of our This isn't part of our assignment, so we're going to ignore that for right now. The next one is 15/100ths. Now, if you can say hundredths and see that that bottom number is 100th, then it's going to go in the last numbers of your fraction. So 5 is going to go in the hundredths place. This is 2a. Now we're on 2b. That 5 is going to go in the hundredths place, which means your 1 is going to go in the tenths and your decimal is going in front. Okay? And lastly, for 2, we're going to do 2c. We have 375/1000ths. Now, if you can say 375/1000ths, you know that the 5 above the thousands from the 375, that 5 is going to go in the thousands place because it's the last place value. The 7 is going to go in the hundredths place, and the 3 is going to go in the tenths place. So that's how you would write 375/1000ths, this fraction, as a decimal. All right, and that was 2c. I'm going to quickly erase, and we're going to go on to number 3. Number 3, it says write each decimal now as a fraction. So again, we're going to plug it into our chart, and then we're going to see exactly how we would write it as a fraction. The first one is 0.53. We're on 3a now. 0.53. Now remember what I said. If it's in the hundredths place, it has to be written over 100. So the last digit here is in the hundredths place. That means we have to write it over 100. So the way we would write this is, and I'm going to do it up here so it doesn't make the chart confusing. It's in the hundredths place, you write it over 100th or 100. The next one is 0.7. 3b is 0.7. Now, the last place value is in the tenths place. That means you're going to write it over a 10, just like it says right there. So 3b is 7/10. We're not going to do 3c together. We're going to skip down to 3f. 3f, it says 0.613. 3f. Hey, don't get that one confused. Please don't put this for 3c. 0.3, oh, I already forgot. 0.613, good thing I checked. Oh boy, that was the wrong thing. 0.613. All right, now the 3 is in the 1000ths place, so we're going to label it as a fraction in the 1000ths place. So this is going to look like 3f, because the last place value is in the thousands place. It's going to be over 1,000, and it's going to be 613/1000. All right, now this last section right here is pretty easy to figure out. It's asking for 1/1000ths or 0.001. What they're looking for you to do here is tell me the metric prefix, which 1,000 in, say, meters would be milli. So that is what it's looking for here. 100, think of pennies, 100 cents or cent for that, and so on and so forth. And then this section down here below you can do on your own. All right, guys, if you needed help, I hope this helped. If you need more help, please feel free to call or text me using your mom or your dad's phone, and have a great day.